welcome back to my channel, DebtFree CF. This is Jay here with creating my monthly March budget. Now you'll think, wait, we're looking at February right now, but I realized that I always start with it pre-made and I've never actually gone through how I get from the previous month to the current month, so I thought I'd include that this time around. So at the bottom of my Google Sheets, I've got my different tabs. You can see there's the ones for my January where I showed you both as a whole month, like what the layout is that you're seeing, and my bi-weekly if I were to break it down into paycheck by paycheck, which I don't do because it's a little bit stressful for me and confusing, and I don't actually need to because I'm not living paycheck to paycheck, so it just works better for me to do monthly even if I'm getting paid bi-weekly. I'm going to go ahead and right click on the bottom tab and say that I want to duplicate it. Normally it will automatically name it copy of, so then I right click again and rename. So I don't need it to be a copy of because I'm going to change which month it is. So I'm going to put in March here and hit enter. Now everything is still obviously identical because I duplicated, so I can go through and highlight. I'm holding control while I click at the top of the columns or the left of the rows and change the color to something like green because it's March and there's St. Patrick's Day. So then I'm going to change the date for the month to March, and then what I need to do is I actually need to clear out, let me just clear out my income amounts. Oops. And so that is what was auto-calculated last month for what my roommate needed to transfer. It's not going to be accurate this month. I'm going to take out the groceries and I'm going to take out the gas. I'm going to pre-plan because I know I'm making 2 trips this month that I'll probably need something like $35 for gas. It doesn't take a whole lot to fill up my tank. Usually $22 to $25 is a full tank. I anticipate I'll need 2 of those, so this might actually end up being closer to 40. So let me put in 40 instead just to be a little bit cautious. I don't anticipate needing anything for the pets. I do have a gift card, so I'm going to leave that in the notes. My car insurance is not going to change. I'm not going to have school expenses this month, and I'm going to be putting into retirement once I see what my first paycheck looks like. So if you watched my February wrap-up video on the last day of February, so it's actually going to clear in March, I'm going to be sending $1,600 to my Roth IRA, so I'm going to put that in to begin with. But if I can put in more at the end of the month or even midway through the month for 2018, so this is now going to say 2018 Roth, and if I can add more, I will. I'd like to max it out as early as possible because then I'm accruing interest for more months in the year. So this is going to be the tally for 2018. I'm going to start with 1,600 and then I'll find out what I'm adding as I go. The other thing that needs to be included is I put into the sinking fund for the pets every month. So that should be 96, where it's myself and my roommate combined. I think that might be a little bit different of a number. Oh, I have to actually, let me undo that. So the 207.50 is what this will start off as, and then the 96 is what we should add together. And so that should end up in the month at 303.50. Car insurance should start at $73.34 and then add another $36.67 because I'm trying to get to $220 in 6 months. And if this is month 3 and I'm at $110, I'm right on the nose. A couple extra cents, but no big deal. So let's see, I need to put in on the left side over here that I'm going to be contributing 96 for the two of us, so it's going to be equal to 96 divided by 2. Oh, I don't want that struck through anymore because this is for what's going into the sinking fund. What else can I anticipate? I do have some appointments coming up. I don't think I'll need 300, but I'll put in 300. And like I said, school's not in here anymore. Although I have paid for parking a couple times when I haven't biked or walked because it's a little bit colder. So if I pay for parking every time, which I don't anticipate, that would be $8. Let me put in 6. I know it's a small amount, but I'm just going to put that in there for parking. I'm trying to think of what else I need to include. This amount for utilities needs to be adjusted because this is still left over from last month, so give me a second to look that up. Alright, I looked it up and I'm just going to paste in the numbers. So it's a little bit higher on some of the things. We've ran the heater more. I don't think we used more electricity. Internet's the same, but definitely some more heat because it's been colder this month than in November and December. About equal to January, but sometimes just running the heat more because I've been home a little more. And then auto-calculating half of that. And this half actually goes into the equation of what my roommate helps with contributing. That's about it. My numbers for the exact amounts saved are not updated, though I'll probably update some of those numbers that you'll see a little bit different in the check-in. But overall, that's about it. So this actually looks like it's doubling up the $1,600 from last month to this month, since I did put it in last month's budget. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that, and I'll just leave it on the left side so that I know that's in there, because otherwise I'd have to add the $1,600 back into my income amount, and I don't really want to have to remember that. So this is pretty good setup plan. For my job, because it's going to be a new job, I mentioned in the wrap-up video, but if you didn't happen to watch that announcement, I'm getting a new job. I start on Monday, March 5th, so I don't know what my first paycheck will look like, but it is a significant raise, almost a double in pay, with whatever benefits and everything else on top of that, options for overtime and so forth. So I anticipate that it'll probably be close to 3,600. So I'm just going to put that in as a rough amount so that you can kind of see just with possible numbers in terms of compared to my expenses. I'll have to make that adjustment with my check-in halfway through, and then I'll get my first glimpse at the end of March what the two pay periods look like. All right, well, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them below. If you like the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you subscribe because you want to be notified every time there's a new video, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, let me know how your budgets are going, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks for watching.